thank you for joining another Community Action Together video. And our special guest today is Felix, who is executive director of Mesa Can in Mesa, Arizona. So Eva, welcome and thank you for giving us a few minutes of undoubtedly a busy time for you. So thank you. Where is Mesa in terms of relationship to Phoenix, for instance?
Good morning, David. First and foremost, thank you. And on behalf of Community Action in Arizona, we're very, very pleased to be able to speak to you. Mesa is about 35 miles west of Phoenix. So we're closer to the desert than Phoenix is, but not too far away that we can't do the commute.
Good. Very good. I want to ask some questions about how your agency is responding to the twin crisis, the pandemic, the health concerns, as well as the economic consequences. Just what is going on in the agency? Is there a surge in demand for assistance? Just what's the picture out there going on in Mesa with Mesa Can?
Right now, the most impact, David, has been to an eviction prevention program. Our families are really concerned that they're going to be evicted. This pandemic, those families that have been impacted have either been furloughed or their hours have been cut. They've been struggling trying to apply for unemployment. So we have a large volume of families in crisis, but most of it has to do with the rental eviction process. We're trying to obviously mitigate that. Trying to keep people in their homes is essential. They're scared. They're frustrated with trying to get means. And even at Mesa Can, we're pushing about 8 weeks now, David. We went from, we average about 50 to 100 calls a day. We went close to 800 per day. We are 8 weeks out, and we're back down to almost 100 again. So as things are easing up or people are finding some relief or the outreach is getting to them, we are seeing that families are still frustrated, still scared, but they're still calling into their community action agencies, obviously, to seek assistance.
Do you have a moratorium in place on eviction, either locally or at the state? Is that currently in place, and when does it expire? And what role did the CAPS play in getting that moratorium in place, and how are you preparing for when it's lifted?
So yes, there is, and it did come from the governor's office. When it's lifted, I think our concern is that families are going to be coming in droves, and this pandemic has forced us to kind of pivot, David. Drop-offs, talking to people either online, doing jot forms and applications, doing virtual meetings like this one has forced us to, again, in a good way, maybe technology might be the new wave of the future. But I do foresee, and I think being a little concerned about it allows us to move forward with purpose, to be able to help our families. Being a little scared allows you to be conscientious about what you're doing, making sure you're doing it purposefully, and again, being very diligent on how you're serving the community.
Speaking of communities, Mesa Can's got a very good reputation for years in terms of value to the community. Have any new partnerships been created during this pandemic? And give me an example of what a partnership is and a new one, and just how it came together.
Thank you for asking. So yes, right now, because of the pandemic, the Arizona Department of Housing implemented an eviction prevention process. And all community action agencies, not just Mesa Can, all Arizona collectively are working with them so that we can help and serve our families and keep them in their homes. A second partnership is with the city of Mesa itself, that is seeing that there is a huge need, and they are going to be receiving some COVID-19 stimulus funds, and we're hoping to partner with them to expand the utility component. Here at Mesa Can, we're very, very proud, David, that we offer a bundling of services all at one site, or what we call a one-stop shop. Mesa Can has an opportunity to help with rental assistance, utility assistance, food insecurities, a weatherization program. So with those partnerships, we're hoping to provide a bundling of services to these very families in crisis.
How uh, is Mesa? Do you have a shelter in place order, and is it being lifted? And if it is, if you do, and if it's being lifted, how's that affecting your agency?
So there is a shelter in place, but right now, community action programs, we are considered just like first responders, and essential workers. So there's 11 members to my staff. We do social distancing at work. We obviously we do wear the mask. We clean up surfaces regularly, but we are on site, David. This curfew or whatever this pandemic and sheltering in place is scheduled to end. We started opening up, or the governor began opening up movie theaters, bowling alleys, barber shops. A handful of those began on Friday and this Monday, and they're hoping to expand later on. Obviously, the same concern that everybody has is, are we opening up too quickly? So community actions are trying to prepare, providing guidance to the very families we serve, but trying to provide safety to our very own staff. We happen to be fortunate here at Mesa that our front office and our lobby, like similar to banks, has a window so that there is some protection provided to our staff plus our clients. We've done markings on the floor for 6 feet apart. We probably won't have more than 10 people in the lobby, but we're very mindful, David, that in a couple of weeks, we're going to be at about 110 degrees. And I can't have families waiting out there for hours, especially if they're there with their children. Remember, right now, schools are out. So families are coming in with their children. And right now, if both parents are at home, one can stay with the children. But as this eases up, some families are going to have a member go back to work. Hopefully, fingers crossed, those that have been furloughed will start returning to work. But it's going to take a while for them to kind of move forward from this one step back. 8 weeks out, no employment or very little or cut in hours. That impact is going to take, especially these very families, these working poor who struggle already. So we're hoping to mitigate that by providing still the same essential work we do. Drop-offs, we're still talking to people via phone. We're hoping to make sure that we are providing guidance to them and still be able to serve them.
Traditionally, by law, in the community services block grant, agencies like yours can serve up to 125% of poverty. We've lifted that to 200%, and in the with $1 billion, and we've actually extended that on the current supplemental. Give me a snapshot of the new clientele you're seeing.
We're seeing clients that have never come here before, David. We have our struggling working poor, still a household of 2 family members working, unfortunately making minimum a wage. Some of our undocumented, who still have family members who are here legally. But we are seeing, for the first time, families who have never been furloughed, people that have been able to, firefighters, teachers. These are a group of educated individuals that have always been working. So we're also seeing, for the very first time, a large population that is between 50 and 65 that may not be ready to collect unemployment, finding themselves homeless for the first time. In Mesa, we're seeing this and have for the last 18 months. For the first time, their Social Security, although they are on limited income, their rent is going up, but their Social Security is going up by $12, $18 a year. Their rent's going up by $100, $200. So we're seeing a large population of family members or individuals or households of one who can't make ends meet. Not only
So,
rent and utilities, but other basic needs, David.
so they're turning to your agency for the first time uh, in their lives. What what kind of media have you attracted out there in terms of your importance to the community? Has there been some good press on your activities?
There has been press. I don't know if it's been good. I think the media knows that we're essential workers, and community action does valuable work. Funny you should say that. I just had a phone interview with the Arizona Republic about the Arizona Department of Housing and the slowness of how this program has launched. And as I told the reporter, like every new pilot, it takes a little while to get the pilot in place, get people trained, launched before we can start helping clients. It's also an electronic portal. A lot of families don't have access to electronics. So, but we praise those organizations that want to partner with community action. Because we do what we do and we do it well. So they are reaching out to the experts to know what they're doing, and we're very proud of that. We're proud of those partnerships. So the press is trying to find out why is it moving a little slow, because like every new program, it takes a little while.
After uh, we all hope and pray that the pandemic, we find a vaccine and the economy starts recovering. Um, what what lessons have you learned? How has this changed your agency?
What we have done, and I believe most community action agencies have done, is we've pivoted. Our service delivery infrastructures have changed. We've developed new capacities, mostly in the virtual world, David. And in that environment, what we're doing is we've remained resilient in this ever ever changing and very fluid environment that this pandemic is causing us. But I think we've been able to rise to that challenge, and both as an individual agency and collectively as community action in the state of Arizona, I think because we've changed our business model, we still are doing very good work in the state of Arizona.
Well, your spirit certainly comes across uh, when we're talking. And the final question is, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and we look back on this time, how do you want Mesa Can to be remembered for during this crisis?
I think all community action agencies will want to be known as they were the resilient agencies that were there to serve the community when the community needed them. Not just for rent, not just for utilities, but for those other basic needs, food insecurities, financial coaching, asset building programs, WIC offices, immunizations, daycares. All of those components are tied to community action, David. And what I'm most proud of, and I think what I want all community actions to be proud of, is that when the time came, we pivoted, we made a difference, and we're still here to serve the community, and we do it proudly.
Well, it's you certainly do, and that's inspiring. And the good news is that in every community in America, CAPS are there, and they're providing absolute lifeline to these communities. Eva, I want to thank you for not only participating in this, but for what you're providing in the community. Thank your staff; they are heroes, and the board. And I wish you the best and stay safe. And today we're doing this on a Thursday. Today I'm hopeful once again. I always start optimistic that we're going to get the money released, the $1 billion that we got, and then if you think you have new partners now, wait till you get your share of the $1 billion. You'll have more friends and relatives than you ever knew will be coming to the community for a partnership. But thanks for your commitment to the community and to community action. It's inspiring. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, David. Thank you very much.